this is Animat, and welcome back to the Muppet Vlog. Now this time we're going to be looking into the 5th episode of Season 5 of the Muppet Show, which features James Corden. Now for those of you who are unfamiliar with who James Corden is, he was actually known to be the prominent tough guy actor. If you want someone that seems pretty threatening, like someone that you really want to be on his side and you really don't want to mess with, he's pretty much the actor to go with. And many of the feature films that he appeared in, where he proved his point to be the prominent tough guy actor, would include The Magnificent Seven, The Great Escape, Our Man Flint, Duck You Sucker, Cross of Iron, Hell is for Heroes, and many more. Also, later in his career in 1998, he would end up winning an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor for his role in Affliction. And one of his final performances, you might actually be familiar with it, he actually provided the voice of Mr. Waternoose in Monsters, Inc. Now, going into the episode that he appeared in The Muppet Show, I gotta say, it definitely was one of them that it's just a lot of fun, and the special guest star really helped it. Like, he was the massive highlight of this entire episode, and whenever he's on, it's always a blast no matter what. Because the big thing is that, apparently, like a little behind the scenes fact, James Coburn's favorite Muppet was apparently Animal. And throughout this entire episode, it really does reflect upon that, where you see a bit of a bonding between James Coburn and Animal, where like, they're just, like, having a chat with each other, like, things that they can relate, and also James Coburn trying to calm Animal down with a bit of oriental meditation, and try to make him, like, be cool, be calm, be collective with himself, while at the same time, like, also unleash some madness. Like, there were a lot of chairs thrown and destroyed. And that's probably the best thing about this episode, is to see this connection between James Coburn and Animal. How, like, even though he would try to calm Animal down, you do see that they do have some things in common. And, like, even though they can have their moments of fun, like, James Coburn's ultimate goal was to bring Animal some peace, so that he doesn't go raging all the time, because the opening act was a bunch of octopuses actually playing the drums and also the kazoo at the same time, doing the song Temptation, and then suddenly Animal just went nuts because I guess the octopuses triggered him on the ways that they were playing the drums. So James Coburn decided to step in and, like, you know, like, ultimately try to tame the beast until, like, at the very end, where he was just doing a lot of the oriental stuff, mostly trying to do this serene Japanese number, where, like, he would just play the gong, actually. It's not just a big plate where you just hit it and that's it. Like, it can also be used as an instrument, and it is quite fascinating how James Coburn, like, just tries out a little bit, just, like, slightly tapping it to become, like, an essential, like, showcase musical instrument in itself. You know, it's actually pretty nice. But no, all this to say is that definitely the best thing about this episode is James Coburn and Animal. While at the same time, there are some other sketches as well, like, other than the ones that I did mention, one that he did appear in was that there was this entire Roaring 20 sketch, which is what Kermit basically described it. And it would start out with this giant bird dancing to Alexander's ragtime band, and then suddenly it becomes this entire mafia number of Gonzo as this mafia don, and then, like, James Coburn suddenly barging in and waits for Animal to pretty much save the day and, like, stop the entire, stop Gonzo's mafia crew. And then afterwards, there is the finale that I mentioned, this entire Japanese tribute where he plays the gongs. Like, originally, just to give you guys a bit of context, in that number, it was originally supposed to be this wild and crazy gun, like this gun shooting number, but he just, James Coburn and Animal decided that they want to do something a bit more serene. So that's why they ended up with the gong, with like the little gong number. But then suddenly, like, the cowboys come in, and it just turns into this entire Japanese style square dance where you got a bit of mixing Western with like Japanese women in kimonos, and James Coburn is in the middle just singing the square dance, but with a bit of like Japanese, well, not Japanese lyrics, but I mean just add in some Japanese related stuff onto the entire number. So it just makes this cute little fun dance routine right there. But at the same time, there are some other numbers that do happen at the same time. Like, immediately after the Roaring Twenties bit, the bird does come back. Well, like, the giant bird does come back to do one extra dance because Kermit asked for it, just for the heck of it. And she would ultimately dance something called the Bird Walk, while other bird Muppets and Rolf would be playing the instruments at the same time. So it was mostly checking out this bird doing all these dances, but the choreography in there, I have to say, it really was rather impressive. Like, they got a really good dancer in that bird. But at the same time, you also do get this bear on patrol bit, where they captured this guy called apparently Banana Nose Moldernado? Yeah, like basically they got Banana Nose Moldernado, and like they wanted to catch him, but of course, like many of the other Bear on Patrol bits, he like cleverly finds a way to just get himself out of it. Honestly, the way that they execute it, and mostly because of the stupidity of Link Hogthrob and Fozzie in that number, it really does make it cute and funny at the same time. It was rather nice. Now, even though, like, this episode was really a lot of fun to watch, if there is one piece of criticism that I would have to put into this, is that, yeah, honestly, there are just a little too much, like, there's honestly a bit too much puns in this, like, because, like, if you guys remember, the opening number was, like, the Temptation bit with all the octopuses on the drums, but they decided to keep the octopuses just so that they could do octopus puns. That's it. Like, that was their only purpose in the episode, and honestly, they kind of overstayed their welcome. Although I do admit that some of them do actually work, because suddenly, like, Statler and Waldorf would end up with an octopus, and, like, Waldorf would go and make all these octopus puns, and then they just ultimately decide, yeah, that's a bad joke. Off you go, just throw him out of the box. So, like, at least there is that, you know? But yeah, that's my only piece of criticism, is just too many bad puns onto this episode. But even with that, overall, I have to say that this is still a really fun episode to watch, and it's especially thanks to James Corden and Animal. A lot of really cute bits happening on the side, but it's mostly with those two, and the bonding that they have, and the little sketches that they appeared in. It definitely was a blast, and I could almost say that this could be one of the highlights of this season. It was just absolutely fun, just seeing all the Muppet madness and just James Corden trying to keep Animal in control. A little bit in the same way of how Jack Black tried to do the same thing in the 2011 Muppets movie. So, yeah, honestly, this is the kind of episode that is mostly thanks to the special guest star that it just really was a lot of fun. So, overall, I would say that, yeah, there are some bad jokes here and there, but overall, I really enjoyed it. But anyways, that is pretty much it for this episode of the Muppet Vlog, so I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see if we can get more episodes like this that are, you know, really fun to watch, that are really good, but hopefully without the octopus puns. So, with that said, though, we will only know until next time, so see you later, dudes!